Alright guys, today we have a lot of very exciting PlayStation news and information to go over and talk about, and the first thing we're going to be starting with has to do with Geoff Keighley once again and the Summer Game Fest, and how he is hinting that something very important or very significant is happening tomorrow, something that's going to be revealed during the Summer Game Fest, and a lot of people are thinking it may have something to do with PlayStation or the PlayStation 5, so I wanted to take a moment to go over that. We're also talking about PlayStation Studios and how this is a new brand underneath Sony that is going to unite all of Sony's first-party studios together under a single umbrella, and they actually revealed the animation for it, which a lot of people are claiming that Sony actually copied Microsoft on this one. However, I do want to point out that I don't think that's actually true. If anything, both Sony and Microsoft may have actually copied Marvel here on this one, but we're going to talk about that. And finally, we are talking about the release date of the PlayStation 5, or the release month I should say, because it seems Sony may have accidentally revealed this in a job listing. However, they did come out here and acknowledge it and correct it, but I'm not so sure that I necessarily believe them. Either way, I think it's worth taking some time to go over and talk about and discuss it. So before we go any further, if you could do me a big favor, hit the like button to show your support and help the video out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss any future content. But starting here with Geoff Keighley on Twitter, he says here, fun at Summer Game Fest, game revealed in the morning. Now, what he's talking about here was he was kind of, I don't want to say hyping up a new game reveal that was happening today, or that did happen today, because I feel like that's using the wrong terminology. He was basically letting us know that the game that was going to be revealed today is a fun and cool game, and he thinks it's going to be a fun and cool announcement. Now, the game that was revealed was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 HD Remaster. It's a bundle that is releasing, I believe, September 4th of this year, which is pretty cool. I watched the trailer for it, and it got me pretty excited, and I think he did an absolutely perfect job explaining what the game reveal was going to be. Fun and cool. I think that's the perfect way to explain it. He didn't overhype it. He didn't oversell it. He didn't undersell it. It was right where it should be. So this is why I'm paying very close attention to what he's saying here. He says, and then Wednesday, we have another stream that I can't wait to share with you. So somebody said to him, will Wednesdays be fun and cool? And he responds by saying Wednesday is one of the more important moments this summer. Now, I'm highlighting this because the way he's wording this, there's no doubt that he's hyping it up, because saying it's going to be one of the most important moments, or one of the more important moments this summer, that tells me something big is happening tomorrow. And a lot of people are obviously immediately thinking that it's going to have something to do with PlayStation. And I'm not going to lie to you, I can't help but kind of feel that way myself. I really hope it has something to do with the PS5 or a PS5 game announcement or something, but either way, whatever it is, I will certainly, if it is PlayStation related or if it's just significant in general, I will certainly keep you guys updated. But I wanted to mention this because I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. Like, what do you think he could be alluding to? Do you think we're actually going to see the PlayStation 5? Do you think we're going to get a big PS5 game reveal? Do you think it's going to be the Silent Hill reboot that has been rumored to be announced by this point? I mean, whatever it is, according to Geoff Keighley, it's going to be an important moment. So let me know down in the comments below what you think he's talking about here. But moving on from that, we are talking about the PlayStation Studios brand announcement. Now, really quick, I'm going to play the opening animation for you so you can see it yourself. And yeah, a lot of people are looking at this animation and they're saying, wow, this is just a complete ripoff of what Microsoft did. And I think Microsoft showed off their Xbox Game Studios animation. It was either earlier this year or sometime last year. And I will admit, they pretty much do look identical. However, it is worth noting that I don't really think you could look at this and say that Sony is copying Microsoft, because I'm going to play another animation for you that Sony put out about 5 years ago for their PlayStation originals. So check this out. Now, as you can clearly tell here, they are very similar to one another, and last time I checked, this PlayStation Originals animation came out before the Xbox Game Studios one. However, I don't think anybody can deny that both Sony and Microsoft are clearly copying Marvel here. In fact, PlayStation even acknowledges this in their press statement when they talked about this, which we're actually going to go over here. So let me know what you think about the opening animations here down below. I personally think it's pretty cool, but we're actually going to go over this and let Sony explain to us what exactly the purpose of this is. So it says Sony has developed a new umbrella brand to unite its first-party PlayStation titles. The PlayStation Studios brand will go live alongside the PlayStation 5 later this year and will only be featured on games developed and managed by Sony Interactive Entertainment's worldwide studios organization. Alongside the logo, PlayStation has created a new opening video that will appear at the start of its games. The video features characters from Uncharted, Little Big Planet, God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn, and The Last of Us. We are really excited about this, says Eric Lempel, Senior Vice President and Head of Global Marketing at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Over the last few years, and even the last decade, the strength of the titles coming out from our studios has been stronger than ever. I do agree with that. We have been thinking about how we unite all of these great games under one brand, and really the purpose of that is to make the consumer understand that when they see this brand, they're getting ready for a robust, innovative, deep experience that they've come to expect from games coming from PlayStation. So we came up with PlayStation Studios. You've seen the animated asset that will exist primarily during the beginning of our titles, but the brand will exist in a lot of different places. There are different shorter animations that will exist in trailers. It will exist in advertising. It will be in any other of the creative assets, such as the game packaging and the game discs themselves. We think this is a good way to let consumers know that if they see it, then the quality games they've come to expect from us are here, and this brand will exist for well-known existing franchises as well as brand new franchises that we have yet to explore. Sony's PS4 games will also carry the PlayStation Studios branding, but it won't be ready in time for the launch of The Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, which are both due to arrive this summer. It will also miss the launch of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, although Lempel says that any future game it releases on any other platforms will also carry the branding. There will be variations on the video asset, Lempel tells us, and although the clip may look like something you would see before a Marvel movie, the inspiration for the branding came from the games themselves. What we really wanted to do is create a way to bring the consumer into the world, he says. When they play our games, that's the nice, robust piece that happens, and then you're transported into an adventure with rich worlds, old characters, and really captivating stories. We're all huge Marvel fans. One of our biggest games of all time has a Marvel character in it with Spider-Man. But this is really about doing something specific for our games and our industry. The cinematic you've seen is the one that has multiple games in it, but over time, as we introduce well-established franchises, we can tailor that opening a bit to possibly show the franchises over the years, new characters that have come into play. There's a lot we can do, and we're really excited about it. So, yeah, I mean, basically what he's trying to say here is that this is something that will change over time. Like, you're going to see new characters added, you're going to see older characters added, and they're just going to have this PlayStation Studios branding basically all over the place, which is pretty cool because, again, I do like it. But finishing this off here, because I just want to make sure you guys have all the information regarding this. Alongside games developed by Sony's first-party studios such as Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Santa Monica Studio, Media Molecule, and Guerrilla Games, the PlayStation Studios brand will also apply to games made by work-for-hire developers under Sony's directions. If our studios are managing the production of these games and working with an external developer, it will still come out under the PlayStation Studios brand. It doesn't mean that we outright own the developer, but it just means we brought it up as a first party. In a lot of cases, we don't own the developer. PlayStation's first-party lineup has proven to be a big selling point over the life cycle of the PlayStation 4. The company has become known for its story-driven single-player games, with the likes of Uncharted 4, Spider-Man, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn winning awards and selling in excess of 10 million units worldwide. Yet Lempel says that the average consumer isn't necessarily aware of these games or that they come from Sony. It's something we've thought about for a while, and especially as we move towards the next generation, we really want to back our games in an even bigger way. We've done everything in terms of massive, robust marketing campaigns, and this is an even better way to bring together these games united in an easy way for fans to understand what they're getting into. He concludes, "We've never had any problem getting people to play these games. They're usually critically acclaimed, award-winning franchises that are games of the year, but for the average consumer, it's not always clear what games come directly from our worldwide studios. And to your point, they've come to understand in many cases that these are really robust, innovative, single-player experiences. Of course, there is a variety of other games that don't fit into that mold, but nonetheless, we wanted to make sure people know that these are the games coming from our worldwide studios." So there you go. That's pretty much the entire thing here that GamesIndustry.biz had to say about this. And so one of the more interesting things that I think people are, wondering about during this statement that was put out basically is like when he talks about how they're going to have the PlayStation Studios branding for their games even if they're making their way to other platforms. I just think this is the reality of the future going into gaming here, how PlayStation's definitely going to become a little bit more open. They've already proven that they're becoming more open and trying to possibly start putting their games out on like PC and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what they're talking about. I don't think this means that all PlayStation 5 games are suddenly going to PC. I don't think that means that at all. Sony's already kind of clarified this, but there you go. This is a big deal for Sony because it seems like one of the main things they're trying to achieve is to just get awareness out there, to get more of the average consumers to understand where these games are coming from, how it's directly linked to PlayStation, it's directly linked to Sony, and most importantly, it's directly linked to the studios that are in the hardcore gaming space, like, the people who are here right now. Most of us know the names of these studios and we understand the importance of them, but a lot of people don't. And so I just think that this is a really cool thing they're doing, and I just wanted to take some time to make sure I relayed all of the information to you so you understand why Sony is doing this and the purpose of it. But to finish off this video, we are talking about the release date for the PlayStation 5 and how it seems it may actually be October and not November. So we have the original story here. It says a translated job listing suggests that Sony may be targeting an October 2020 release date for its upcoming PlayStation 5 console. The role, which pertains to manufacturing and the purchasing of high-quality electronics, mentions that the Japanese giant's next console is, quote, scheduled to be released in October 2020, unquote. This is courtesy of Google Translate. We're awaiting an official translation, and we will update if it differs. Interestingly, some fans have noticed that Dirt 5's release date is also currently pegged for October 2020, suggesting it could be a launch PlayStation 5 title. Of course, even if the translation is accurate, plans do change, and there's still the not so insignificant matter of everything that's going on in the world right now. Nevertheless, if there really is only 5 months left until release, we'd expect the platform holder to pull back the curtain on its new console fairly soon. Now, there is an update to this, and this is what the update reads. Japanese gaming magazine Famitsu contacted Sony about the PlayStation 5's planned October 2020 release date mentioned in a job listing, and the manufacturer stated that it's an error. Quote, it was due to a mistake in the recruitment site, not content that was written by our company, unquote, a spokesperson said. As it stands, the PS5 is officially scheduled to release holiday 2020. Now, I had to take time to highlight this because, in my opinion, I think Sony's bluffing here. I think that this is, in fact, the release date for the PlayStation 5, because not only is it interesting that we do have Dirt 5, which is listed as a PlayStation 5 title, and it was coming out in October, that's what was announced. A lot of people kind of brought this up to me and like, MBG, do you think that this is basically them saying we can expect the PS5 in October? And at first I was like, no, I don't think that really means anything. I think they're just basically saying that the game's launching in October, and then whenever the PS5 comes out, it'll also be available on the PS5, or there will be a PS5 version. However, now we have a straight-up job listing. Granted, it's not coming directly from Sony, but it pertains to the manufacturing and purchasing of the high-quality electronics. I mean, this is pretty specific. You know what I mean? Like, why would they say October 2020? I mean, they could just say holiday 2020. They could just say late 2020. But instead, they're giving us an actual month. So, guys, I don't want to jump to anything here, but I kind of feel like this might be true. I mean, if you look at the statement that Sony put out here, they didn't even deny. They didn't even deny that it's going to be October. They just said that that's not from us, so it's not official. Like, that's basically what Sony said. I feel like if this wasn't true, they would be like, you know, that date is incorrect. We will be announcing the date, you know, sometime later on or something. But instead, they're basically just like, yeah, this was a mistake on their part, and this wasn't coming from our company. So yeah, I don't know. I had to take time to highlight this because I just find it very interesting. And yeah, it seems like we could end up seeing the PS5 a little bit sooner than maybe we anticipated. And I think that it would be a great thing, honestly. I mean, the sooner we can get our hands on this console, the better, in my opinion. Just gets me that much more excited. But this video is turning out a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So at this point, I'm going to end it and ask you guys to let me know your thoughts about all of the stuff we talked about down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Geoff Keighley hyping up whatever we're going to see announced tomorrow. Let me know what you think about the PlayStation Studios branding and the new logo, the new animation, and the purpose of it. And let me know what you think about the PlayStation 5's apparent October 2020 release date and what Sony had to say about it. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Let me know down below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.